Thanks for your support as a channel member, Pulse Potato! Pierre Gasly has won 60% of the races in Season 3 so far, but with rain abound in Singapore, literally anything can happen. Hello folks and welcome to episode 50 of F2 and GP2 Champions with Haas, and we are gearing up for round 11 of Season 3, the Singapore Grand Prix. We're into the last 5 races on F1 Manager on AHGP. It's almost the end of an era, one might say, but we've still got some winning to do. Pierre Gasly has won 4 of the last 5 races, and while he can't become champion today, his 59-point lead over Max Verstappen is very, very healthy at this point of the season. He could, with victory today, put himself in position to potentially become champion at the next round in Suzuka, and follow in the footsteps of so many champions who have secured their title in Japan. But it's looking most likely that it will be Lusail or definitely Sao Paulo. That's if we keep winning. But obviously we could have a couple of DNFs and the title fight is straight back on. In terms of putting things on, we've not done anything in terms of upgrades. We don't need to. We've got a great car. We're just going to see it out to the end of the season. So here's the forecast for the weekend. Potential rain in qualifying on Saturday. Looks like there could be very heavy rain on Sunday. And there's also a very high chance of a safety car or red flag at this circuit. So this could be a long episode. I'm going to get to the circuit, get the car set up, and basically prepare for carnage. Safely through to Q3 then. We have had rain throughout qualifying. It has also dried up in parts. I actually made a mistake for Q2. I sent both drivers out on a very used set of tyres just to do a banker lap without looking at the weather, and then I noticed as we were on our in lap that there was a minute until rain. So that kind of bailed us out a little bit. We got a bit fortunate there, but we're through. That's all that matters. That's all we had to do. Let's get to the track and see where we can put these cars in the top 10. It's going to be a one and done session because rain is coming in 3 minutes. Pierre Gasly, the first man across the line to start a flying lap, and Felipe Drugovich is in pursuit, although he's far enough behind to not be hopefully impacted by any turbulent air. Gasly, of course, the fastest man through the first sector because he's the first man through the first sector, but he is a 1/10 of a second quicker than his teammate. So that's to be expected. Gasly is the man when it comes to qualifying this season, although someone else has just gone faster. That man is Fernando Alonso. Gasly, a 36.3 for the middle sector. Drugovich is about 3/10 down so far on this lap. This could mean plenty of cars getting in between as Gasly sets the benchmark with a 1:26.9. Drugovich does, I'm not sure what he's done. He's done a 27.3. So yeah, he's a solid 4/10 down, but no one's able to match Gasly so far in the middle sector. Let's see what everybody does. Russell comes across in second. Alonso can only go 4th. Behrman 5th. Leclerc goes into 4th. What's Verstappen up to? What can he do? Remember, 14th last time out in Monza. 3rd today in Singapore. But Hamilton to the front row. Excellent lap from the Ferrari. And he gets the Scarlet car onto the front row. Bottas and Behrman round out the top 10. But Charles Leclerc, bit of a qualifying specialist, only 7th in that Ferrari. Lando Norris up in 4th. Impressive from him. But Pierre Gasly, like I said, he's the man when it comes to Saturday. He's the new Mr. Saturday, and rain is coming, so that's the session done. The pre-race weather check makes for scary reading. We're going to get about 15 or so laps of dry running, and then we're going to need the monsoon tyres. Will we need to switch to wets? Probably. Then we'll be back to inters, and that's how the race will finish. So it's going to look something like this, I would say. Then put inters somewhere around here. You'd need to go to wets pretty much immediately because it's going to be very heavy rain. But well, I suppose you could probably get away with a set of inters there. That's going to be tricky. We might have to switch to wets. So let's see the tyre graph. Will the Inters make it to the end. They will actually. So that's the strategy for both drivers. We need to be prepared to switch to wets. I've also underfueled quite a bit because you recover the fuel during the rain, and also there's probably going to be a number of safety cars and red flags in this race. So we need to be on our toes for that. We'll get our drivers fully prepared for the start, and I think that'll do. We need to be very responsive in this race and try and be proactive, but we also need to be ready to react to things. So let's get to the grid, do a motor race. It's dry for now, and there's a 7-time world champion ready to send it into turn 1. There's 5 red lights, the lights are out, the race is on. Gasly gets a decent start. Is that Hamilton on hard tyres? It is. Lando Norris is also on hard tyres. Gasly has the lead through turn 1, 2 and 3. Drugovich remains in 6th, but it's George Russell who is our closest contender for the lead at the moment. And everyone is safely through the first few corners. Gasly looking like he's pulling away at the front here, which will, I'll welcome that. Lap 3, DRS is activated, and so battle is engaged. George Russell takes the lead from Pierre Gasly, and that's fine because it's now a straight fight head-to-head. Hamilton 3 seconds back already in the Ferrari. He's got Verstappen up his gearbox. Drugovich is now going past the hard tyre shod Lando Norris, and that moves him up into 5th, and Gasly can just shadow Russell. And I suppose having the two drivers spaced out a little bit more helps us with the pit stop, because otherwise you're going to lose a load of time queuing when you want to come in for wets. Okay, the rain is coming. Pierre Gasly's just taken back the lead of the race from George Russell, and it's going to be very heavy rain soon. I'm wondering what the AI is going to do.
Auto check.
That suggests to me we're going to eventually need wets, but you won't need them straight away. But you don't really want to make an unnecessary pit stop. So I think we just need to wait and see who blinks first of maybe some of the back markers. What do they go to? That'll tell us what we need. Gasly is trying to pull away from Russell. We've still got DRS at the moment. We're on the optimal pit stop lap. But that can be thrown out the window because we just... Look at the rain coming down. You can see how heavy it is. We're going to get a lot of water on the track very quickly. Gasly and Russell are nearly 10 seconds clear of the pack, which is chasing them, which is Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Drugovich. Gasly now starting to edge away from Russell because his tyres will be much the worse for wear. Indeed they are. Hamilton's hard tyres, maybe they're coming into play here. Here we go. Heavy rain coming. I wonder, let's get Drugovich in for a set of inters immediately. Norris is in. What does he go to? Let's see. Let's jump on board with the McLaren. He's the first man in. Track now damp. What are the McLarens putting on? I think that's a set of full wets at the Mercedes garage. It is indeed full wet tyres. So everybody coming in for full wets. We're going to do the same. In comes Gasly. Will Russell be close enough to jump us? I don't think so. Everybody in. It's a decent stop for us. That'll do. Drugovich actually is currently 3rd because of the way the pit lane sequencing is working. 3.3 second stop. Decent. It means because Leclerc had to queue, Drugovich is back into 5th place. And it's as you were. Verstappen actually has got ahead of Hamilton. I don't know if that was on track or through the pit stops, but that's all fine. We will almost certainly need to come in for inters sort of around here, I would think. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've got the lead over Russell, but he is pushing and he wants to get back into the lead, does George, but hopefully Gasly is not going to let him. The tyres are going to overheat at the moment, and there they go. They're warming up nicely, in fact maybe too much. Okay, track now wet, but look at the state of everybody else's wet tyres compared to ours. Ours are still in the low to mid 90s, as are Alonso's. Verstappen's still in the 90% range, but we, being clever cookies, decided to avoid the high risk curves, which helps bring the tyre temperatures down, as well as conserving the tyres. So now our tyres are in good shape to actually be aggressive. I'm going to deploy some battery with both drivers to see if we can close up the gap. Drugovich is now 4 seconds adrift of Hamilton and has got Leclerc right behind him, but no DRS in the rain, of course, so I think we're okay. We're approaching half race distance and Felipe Drugovich is closing in on Lewis Hamilton once again, but he's probably out of the hunt for a podium because it's 4 seconds to Verstappen. That's not insurmountable, especially if we go back to Inters and we manage to close a lot of that gap up. Just got him topping up his battery at the moment because I want to have a full attack on Hamilton when we get close enough. We're not close enough just yet, but if we can top up the battery, that will help us. Pierre Gasly swimming along very nicely at the front. Oh, virtual safety car. I think Jack Doohan has crashed. There he is. He's obliterated the front wing of the Alpine. Gasly is still going along very nicely, but the circuit is beginning to dry. We've got 10 laps to go. We still need to save some fuel here. We're going to just ease off on the tyres, which will help with that as well. Drugovich still in 5th, just in a Ferrari sandwich. The closest battle on the track is probably between the two Red Bulls. There's a couple that are a little bit closer, but they don't really mean anything in terms of significant positions. Yeah, the Red Bulls have had a propensity to crash into each other in the last few races, notably in Belgium and in Holland. So it could get a bit tasty between these two again. Gasly, though, is just serene at the front. Lando Norris is in for a set of intermediates. I'm going to bring Drugovich in for the exact same thing, unless, well, it's going to dry out. What's Norris put on? He's put on Inters. I'm wondering, do we... It's a lot to ask. It's going to dry out pretty quickly. Is that dry tyres, do we think? What do we do here? Russell's come in. What's he putting on? Inters. Right, we probably need to bring both drivers in. Where is Drugovich? He's gone through, so they'll both come in for intermediates. We might lose out here, but we're going to have to be straight back in, I think, for slicks, because it's drying out so quickly. Do you know what? Gasly's going to come in, and we're just going to do the same as everybody else with him, but with Drugovich, I'm going to put him on a brand new set of softs. It's a huge gamble. But if he doesn't have to make that late stop that everyone else does, he could win the race. Or at least finish second to Gasly. Or everyone else is on intermediates and struggling in the closing laps, and he will be so much faster. We are taking a massive gamble here with Felipe Drugovich as everyone else comes into the pit lane for Inters. Verstappen is our closest challenger at the moment. Oh, he stayed out on wets. He's going for the slicks as well, but he's waiting until it becomes dry. Oh, wow. This is going to be very interesting. Russell is behind Leclerc, who's still on wets. This is fascinating. We are 20 seconds behind Hamilton with Drugovich at the moment. This gamble is not working out at the moment. Alonso has taken 15 seconds out of him on this lap. Okay, this really hasn't worked. That, at least not yet. But if everyone else needs to stop, then, well, here they come. Oh, they're coming off of wets. There's a McLaren there, Piastri, for slicks. So slicks will be the tyre. This is really tricky. I don't want to throw away the win, but also we've got enough time to make up the ground. I think we bring him in. We're bringing him in. Because we're absolutely going to need to do it. We need to save more fuel. Still. That's how much we've under-fueled these cars. Drugovich is now 8th. I don't think he's going to get the gain that I was anticipating from this. Gasly in. A 7-second stop. Lads, what happened? Into the pits. And maybe they were just giving him a pep talk. aggressive on the tyres. We've got 5 laps to go. We're now 4th and 8th. But we're going to be on dry tyres when everyone else is going to be on wets. Leclerc's gone to slicks as well, so he will finish ahead of Drugovich because he's already 10 seconds clear of him. But everybody else could be in big, big trouble unless they stop. And they surely will. No, they don't. Bottas does. Oh, are they going? Red Bull going to have scammed their way to a 1-2 here on wet tyres. Right, Gasly, pick up the pace. Let's attack on the tyres. We are okay. Now I think we're going to take chunks out of them. And surely they're going to... Yeah, they're all coming in for slicks now. They're all coming in. They're going to have to... How many places is Drugovich going to gain? Maybe the gamble was a little bit too early. We have to wait a little bit longer. Yeah, in they all come. Verstappen is going to have to queue behind Russell. He is going to be fuming about that. He's managed to stay ahead of Hamilton. Gasly goes back into the lead. Drugovich is going to gain basically nothing. He's actually going to have lost a position to Leclerc through all of this. He's coming around the final corner now. He'll go ahead of Alonso. Gasly can stop pushing on the tyres now. Yeah. Oh, Hamilton ahead of Verstappen. That's crucial for the World Championship. And they're still fighting. We've not had any other safety cars, but we could be about to get one. If these two do what they normally do. Hamilton moves ahead. Gasly, we're going to want that fastest lap. So the gamble didn't work. It didn't work, sadly. That's a shame. But Hamilton and Verstappen are absolutely at it together. Oh, they have crashed. They have collided. And Hamilton's got damage. Let's take a look at this. I called it. Oh, well, whose fault is that? Leave your thoughts in the comments. So Gasly, with 2 laps remaining, oh my God, we got a red flag. Hamilton gets the penalty. We've got a red flag. What? Oh, Verstappen has crashed. Has he just crashed on his own? He's got damage to his wing and just crashed all on his own. Verstappen is out of the race. This completely blows his World Championship hopes. Right, what lap are we going to restart on, I suppose? I think this is going to be it should be an instant finish. We'll just put on a new set of tyres because we've got them. Verstappen's out of the race. So we could still yet lose the win because Russell could get us off the line. It's a 1-lap shootout. It's a 1-lap shootout to the end. Here we go then. We've got 1 lap to decide it all. Go, go, go.
Mode push.
Mode push indeed. Drugovich, can you steal a P4 or something? Gasly hangs onto the lead. Russell and Hamilton are side by side out of turn 1. Drugovich has got himself back ahead of Leclerc. He could yet steal a podium. Are we on the final lap? We are on the final lap. So, well, at the moment, Drugovich will have the podium because of Hamilton's penalty. So, that's fine. He doesn't have to overtake anybody. Gasly leading the way, though. Drugovich is putting pressure on Russell, who is on used tyres. Can he find a way past? Go on, Felipe. Have it on the track. I don't think we will, but we'll get it in the steward's office because of Hamilton's penalty. He's pushing for the win. It's going to be a cigarette paper across the line, but Pierre Gasly wins for the 3rd race running. Hamilton finishes 2nd on the road, but we will get the podium with Felipe because Hamilton has a penalty. And that was frantic in the end. I mean, we hadn't had much carnage, and then between them, Hamilton and Verstappen have caused absolute chaos. Pierre Gasly takes 26 points, I would think, out of Verstappen in the World Championship. And I think he's on the brink of becoming world champion in Suzuka now. Because that puts the leader way over 70 points, unless it's Russell who's now the closest challenger. There's Dragovic in third. Podiums, victories, hurrah for Haas. Look at that. And surely this almost certainly confirms the H on the Constructors' Champions Trophy. Let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship first. It's a massive lead now. It is, what, 51 points? That is, it's enormous. This will go to the final couple of races to be decided, but the H is being engraved on that trophy right now. Drivers' Championship, Russell moves into second, but he is almost 100 points behind. So that is what, 82 points if I just get my phone and calculate this, because this could be the difference between crowning a champion in the next round or not. So 158, that's an 82 point lead. So yeah, if Gasly has an 82, if he has that or more heading into the final 3 rounds, he should be, well, because we got the sprints, it might be tricky, but I think if Gasly wins in Suzuka, he's probably world champion. I'll have to do the maths to double check it, but 7 wins now this season for Pierre. He's got 8 pole positions. Amazing stuff. Dragovic closing in on Verstappen for a potential P3 in the championship. So good job all round. It was a slow burner, that race, but we've got the anticipated carnage and we've come out on top. But like I said, I'll go and double check the maths and see if Pierre can become world champion in the next episode in Suzuka. But for now, you can leave a nice big thumbs up on the video, subscribe for more F1 Manager content, and let's enjoy the final few races with Haas. I'm sure they're going to be amazing, and let's clinch 2 world championships. I'll see you next time. It's bye for now. You're the best fans.